poppin', B? Purpok here, and welcome back to another episode of Race the Ramen, the show where I attempt to review something unscripted in the same amount of time it takes to boil an instant ramen. And this time we'll be taking a look at Great Gatsby for NES. Yes, really. Alright, let's start the timer right now. Okay. So, Great Gatsby on NES. You're probably wondering, they really made an NES game out of The Great Gatsby, the classic novel that I was forced to read in middle school that sucks? Well, first off, that's a really negative view to take on life. Second, no, they didn't really. They did make a mockery of an NES game, though. The reason I'm talking about this is that it was a joint effort between the creator of Witch Eye, which I talked about last time, Peter Malamud Smith, and one Charlie Hoey. It is a fake NES game meant to be based off a little legend they made up about a Japanese exclusive, unreleased NES game based on The Great Gatsby. The whole thing is just an exercise in parody, but it's a really good exercise in parody. They have like a fake cartridge with a grainy picture that looks like the kind of prototype you might find at a boot sale. There's a really real-looking scan of an instruction manual, and a well-illustrated fake ad out of a lost issue of Nintendo Power for the Japanese name of this game, which I cannot even begin to try and remember. I can probably pronounce it, but I can't remember it right now. But, cutting to all that, it is a very literal translation of the book's most memorable moments and key themes into a game. You fight flappers, World War I ghosts, and people are just running around New York City and Gatsby's party like a bunch of lunatics. You drink martinis to refill your health. You play as Nick Carraway throwing a hat to take out enemies. You even have a boss fight against that oh god, I wish I could remember the name of it. I haven't read the book in many years, but I do remember everything from the book that this game references. And you have a boss fight against that giant staring billboard from the Valley of Ashes, which is, to me, the highlight of the game because they turned a beautiful piece of iconographic symbolism from a classic American novel into what is essentially a Gradius boss. And that's hilarious. So, it's interesting. It only took me 10 minutes to beat it because it's not very long and it's not very hard. I did come close to dying, but I didn't die at all. The controls for a keyboard platformer are pretty solid. I haven't played a ton of platformers on keyboard. Those I have struggled at times to feel fluid. This one works really well. Very simple controls and simple objectives, just keep moving from left to right and get things done. And obviously the incongruity of turning this kind of novel into something as commercialized as a kid's NES game is not lost on me. And it wasn't lost on these developers either. That's the whole reason they made it. It's loaded with references, passages from the book, and NES-style cutscene, Ninja Gaiden, recreations of classic scenes like the shirt scene and the car crash. And as a joke, I think it's really well made. Hell, as a game, it's pretty well made, if insubstantial. Oh, I guess that's time. Hope it was a good time. So, it's a little bit difficult to rate something like this. I suppose well, as a joke, just as a joke being told, I would give it a 10. Because it's really hilarious that they put all this effort into it at all for something that would probably be found out as fake immediately. And hey, it's lasted this long. This game came out years ago, and I'm still talking about it now because I felt like it. And as a game, I mean, it's really just like essentially a demo of something fake, so. But it's also very polished technically, and it was reasonably fun to play. I enjoyed it. So, just for the heck of giving it a rating, 7. 7 seasoning packets out of 10 for The Great Gatsby on NES. And one last thing I'm going to mention outside of the review time limit, just because I can cheat, is the soundtrack was composed by Peter Malamud Smith, just like it was for Witch Eye. Witch Eye has a great soundtrack, which I forgot to mention, and so does this game. You've been hearing it this whole time. Go and give it a check. I'll leave a link in the description for both if I can. But either way, thanks for watching. It was really nice to have you here again. And I am not going to go eat that ramen right now. I have dishes to do instead, first. This place smells like a mushroom farm right now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, why not give it a like, or watch the last one I did about the mobile game Witch Eye. It was made by the same guy. If you want to see me do more videos like this, leave a comment below telling me about it. If you want to check out some other stuff I did, feel free to follow the title card in the top right now to see the last episode I did of my main series, Purple Pocket Pirate, where I talked about Donut County. If you want to stay up to date on other things I might do in the future and other videos I'm working on, feel free to follow me on Twitter at PurPocPartyBus. Check the link in the description to look at the soundtrack and the game, and I will talk to you all later. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.